if you want to be happy, you have to be okay with being miserable. You have to be okay with feeling those negative emotions that you don't want to feel, whatever it is, boredom, sadness, loneliness. Any of these things that you're trying to escape is taking away from your human experience. It's taking away from your authenticity. And it's probably the reason you feel dumb. Because we tend to think happiness is positive emotion. And that's part of it. But the full experience is about having emotional dichotomies, about feeling the comparisons of different things and having a full experience, and also not being afraid of your emotions and having those experiences. So a lot of what we're doing with positive emotions is just simply distracting ourselves, and that works at times. There is validity to that. But when that becomes like your norm, when that becomes the thing that you're doing constantly and it's out of avoidance, right? Like avoidance of those negative emotions and not having the strength to confront them and feel them fully and sit by them, then you don't really end up feeling those positives. And the real authentic human experience does have suffering, it does have negative emotions. And I think the more that you let yourself feel that, the better the positives are in comparison, but also just because you're no longer afraid of the uncharted territories in your brain, in your body, in your heart. And you know that you, no matter what happens, have the strength to feel those things and confront those things. It's beautiful out here, right? It's beautiful nature, right? But, if you're trying to experience beauty and positivity all the time, it starts to become a baseline also. It starts to just become your norm. And I don't think that we can really feel things fully if we're experiencing them all the time. I always find whenever I take a break from anything like music or working out or any of these things that are positive, I start to really feel them again when I start doing them. And it's because I'm not using them as a crutch. I'm not using them as a distraction from the negative emotions that I'm experiencing. It's like just now a added bonus that I get to experience these good things. I think real happiness comes from that full experience, from experiencing the highs and experiencing the lows, and feeling some sense of authenticity and knowing that, again, you're not afraid of any of these feelings and you're not ashamed of them. And I think there's a lot of toxic positivity out there, feeling like if you are feeling those negative feelings, there's something wrong with you and you shouldn't be feeling that. You should be grateful, you should be happy all the time. But that's exhausting and it's not real. And it's only through that full acceptance and allowing yourself to feel those things and feeling them fully that you will start to feel complete, start to feel whole, and start to really feel like yourself. And now more than ever, it's easier to not feel those things, right? We can distract ourselves all day long, basically with stimulus of whatever, your phone, and you don't have to sit there alone with yourself and feel those things. It's very easy to distract yourself constantly, but what that does is that leaves you numb. It doesn't leave you happy. It leaves you feeling empty. So I encourage you today, for 5-10 minutes, put your phone down and sit in your room and close your eyes and just pay attention to how you feel. I'm not recommending you do negative things and purposefully feel negative emotions, but there probably is something under the surface that you've been ignoring and afraid of and just maybe not wanting to feel. Maybe maybe it's almost laziness. It's like, it's exhausting. I don't feel like feeling that right now. But I'm telling you, on the other side of that storm is where the beautiful place is. And if you aren't willing to go through the storm, you kind of stay in that initial phase before, thinking that it's all just storm beyond it, but you don't realize that beyond that storm, that's where the real peace and paradise is. There's actually a lot of joy in feeling your negative emotions, as weird as it sounds. A lot of joy in suffering. You may start to realize, like, wow, it's been such a long time since I felt these things. It might kind of bring you back and create almost a feeling of nostalgia. I know for me it really does. It reminds me of being a kid when I had nothing to, distract me from those things, and I had to just sit in my misery. And there's something very validating and human feeling about feeling those things and allowing yourself to actually feel them, and not the second you feel that feeling come up, you pull away from it. That's toxic positivity right there. And you might find that the more you let yourself feel those things, then the more beautiful things you start to see and realize, and you start to have sympathy for yourself, and you start to pat yourself on the back and say, it's okay, you've been through a lot, and it makes sense that you feel that way, and there's nothing wrong with you. The only thing wrong is the shame for feeling it. We're all human, and life is a lot. If not sad, if not lonely, it's overwhelming and emotionally unbearable at times, and the less you let yourself experience those things and feel them, the worse you get at processing them. It's like a muscle that you have to learn how to exercise, basically, strengthen. So let yourself be miserable, and you'll probably find that through that you end up feeling a lot happier and a lot more human. Peace out.